All right, let's get right into it. We're going to explore the shortest chapter in the entire Quran, Surah Al-Kawthar. And what's so incredible is that it's just 10 words. But these 10 words, born out of a moment of just profound pain, would go on to completely reshape history. And that really is the question here, isn't it? How can a few words, just 10 of them, not only fight back against a vicious, super personal attack, but completely flip the script? I mean, to make a prophecy that's going to be put to the test for the next 1,400 years? This is a story all about grief, a powerful divine response, and in the end, total vindication. Okay, so to really get the weight of these words, you have to transport yourself back to Mecca at that time. The Prophet Muhammad is going through something just awful. He's in this state of deep, deep grief. He's just lost his infant son, Abdullah. I mean, you can just imagine. It's a personal tragedy that would crush any father. But here's the thing. His enemies, they didn't see a grieving father. They saw an opportunity. They saw his vulnerability as a strategic opening to attack. So what did they do? They launched what was basically a public trolling campaign. The whole point was to demoralize him, to break the spirit of his small group of followers. They were literally weaponizing his pain. And their whole attack hinged on this one single, incredibly cutting Arabic word, abtar. Now, this wasn't just, a simple playground insult. In that culture, at that time, this was devastating. It basically meant the one who is cut off, as in cut off from a future. See, to be without sons meant you had no legacy, no lineage, no one to carry on your name. You were a dead end. So this became their narrative, their talking point. They were shouting it in the streets. Hey, don't follow this man. He's Abatar. He has no future. The message was clear. Once he's gone, his whole mission, his whole message, it's all going to just disappear with him. He'll be a footnote in history. This was pure psychological warfare. And then, in response to this incredibly personal, very public attack, a revelation comes down. And it's not some long, complex philosophical argument. Nope, it was something short, something direct, and unbelievably powerful. And this is what just blows my mind. The divine response was this chapter, Surah Al-Kawthar. 10 words. That's it. In the face of this massive smear campaign, the answer was just concise, confident, and absolutely jam-packed with meaning. And the impact? It was immediate. It was undeniable. I mean, get this. These 10 words were presented at Arabia's biggest, most prestigious annual poetry competition. And the greatest poets of that era, we're talking even his biggest enemies, they heard it and just gave up. They had nothing, no comeback. The chapter was hung on the door of the Kaaba, the undisputed winner, and the whole competition was actually canceled for the next 2 years. That's how powerful it was. It left everyone literally speechless. So what on earth did these 10 words say to have that kind of effect? All right, let's break it down verse by verse. Right out of the gate, the first verse takes their insult and just flips it on its head. So they're calling him cut off, right? And the verse comes back with absolute certainty. Indeed, we have granted you Al-Kawthar. And Al-Kawthar, it means a river in paradise, sure, but it also means something bigger. It means overwhelming, true, multi-layered abundance. And just look at this contrast here. On one side, you have his reality at that moment. A grieving father, socially boycotted, with only a handful of followers, financially ruined. I mean, it's bleak. But then look at the other side, the divine promise. It's not just a little comfort, it's eternal honor. Billions of followers, a global civilization, an enduring legacy. It's a promise that, frankly, seemed absolutely impossible from where he was standing. So after this incredible promise, the second verse basically gives the instructions. What do you do? 2 things. First, pray to your Lord. Acknowledge where this gift is coming from with gratitude. And second, offer sacrifice, which means stay the course, remain dedicated and devoted. It's a pretty simple formula, right? When you get a divine promise, you respond with thankfulness and commitment. Okay, now for the final verse. And this is where the whole thing builds to this incredible climax, where the story just gets completely flipped. This is the masterstroke right here. The chapter doesn't just defend him from the insult. No, it picks up their own weapon, that word, abtar, and turns it right back against them. And here it is, the final word. Indeed, your enemy, he is the one who is cut off, abtar. Bam! The one who hates you, the one who mocks you, he's the one who's actually cut off. It is a complete and total prophetic reversal. I mean, just stop and think about how incredibly bold that claim was. This was a make or break prediction. It was saying with 100% certainty that the very people who were so proud of their family names, their lineage, they would be the ones to disappear from history, and the man they called cut off, he would be the one to last. So, fast forward 1400 years. How did that prophecy actually pan out? Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. First off, his followers today, over 1.8 times billion people all across the globe. That's the first level of that abundance we were talking about. And the book he delivered, the Quran, it's the most printed, most read, and most recited book in all of human history. That's another layer of that legacy. And it's a living legacy, you know? It's not just something from the past. Every single day, 5 times a day, his name is mentioned with honor and prayers, all the way from Jakarta to Los Angeles, and everywhere in between. His memory isn't just stuck in a book. It is a constant, daily part of billions of lives. So what about his enemies? The ones who mocked him, who called him Abtar? Well, what are their names? Who were their tribes? What's their legacy? The truth is, they're gone, vanished, forgotten. The prophecy came true in the most literal way you can imagine. They were the ones who were truly and completely cut off. So we're left with this question, right? This whole story, it's not just ancient history. It's about the raw power of words. It's about finding hope when you're facing total despair, and about how a powerful narrative can literally reshape reality. It makes you wonder, what is it that gives certain words the power to not just silence a critic, but to build a legacy that echoes for millennia?